as humans, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We fall short all the time. And I have access to somebody who never falls short. And that's my point. And that's like why I feel like God's love is the point. There we go.
What if love is the point? Speaking of what if love is the point, Andrew, get in the shot. We are live right now. Talk Shop Live.
Talk Shop Live. There's a link on our Instagram.
Yeah, link on the Instagrams and TikToks if you're there. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to continue to answer questions. But if you want to order the book, we really appreciate it. We are so proud of this. And Andrew's read it. He can attest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and I've got a lot of questions.
Hold on.
He's been asking us really deep questions about the book.
But if you're on Talk Shop Live, you can order the book right now.
We only have a handful of signed
copies. Yes.
Coffees? We only have a handful of signed
copies. But
guys.
please grab one. And you know what? Grab one for your friend. Let's just share it with the world because I'm really excited to see what God does through the book. So let's just answer some more questions. Someone says, love wins. Great. Somebody says, random, but Alexa, will you and the kids be watching the shows from backstage or from the crowd?
I think both.
We really haven't thought about
that.
Our
kids have never seen Carlos perform ever. This will be the first time that they get to experience Daddy on stage like this, so I want them to experience both. Side stage is really, really cool, but there's nothing like being like right there in the front row watching Carlos shake his booty.
It's going to be great.
Yes, it will.
Kingston is going to lose
He's
his mind.
He's going to love it. Are you kidding? Ocean. Have you seen those dance moves lately?
Yeah.
Ocean is just...
Oh my gosh.
He'll jump on stage.
Listen, Carlos put his song on the other day. Ocean was playing upstairs. Legos, okay? Building Legos.
Yes. It's a new BTR song that y'all haven't heard yet.
Sprinting downstairs, and immediately he's just like...
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like ninja dancing.
Yeah,
like he was
the Baila Baila song, he called it. Baila Baila song.
You guys.
It's a very good song.
Let's see. Was there anything were you hesitant about putting anything in the book? Yes.
Guys.
There was there were a few things that we put in the initial draft, and then we had to look back and go, okay, cool.
What makes sense right now?
Is this going to be cool? But we also want to protect the people that we do love, who we do talk about in the book, and some that we didn't talk about, but we had to make sure that we just did right by everyone. And I think finding that balance was tough, but I really do think that we did a good job of really sharing and being an open book, but also not like letting the floodgates go until everybody's.
I will have to say
we told a lot of our crap.
Oh, we did. I've had to pray a lot about the fear of the book coming out, just because we are so vulnerable. And I'm just saying, like, for me, like, yeah, you're right. But for me, I just feel like we go there. Like, we really reveal a lot of stuff that has been really difficult in our lives. So I've definitely maybe struggled with that a lot more than Carlos has. But yes, you guys are going to get a lot of it.
So I remember one time where there was a moment where, what was it? Carlos came in and he said something like, they call me Seaman or something. I forget what it was. This is going into the next question. Just remember that. Just think about what I'm asking this question. Okay. In James 4:7 says, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. So it's all about really remaining humble and what have you. So in a world where your ego is constantly being stroked because of, especially now going on tour and stuff, it's going to be a lot of like that kind of stuff. And for you, like, a lot of people are like, oh, can I, photos and stuff. With managers, friends, family, people around you guys. How do you stay grounded with each other, and do you have certain warning signs or safe words with each other that keeps you grounded? Like, is there a moment that you have with each other that you're like, hey, you're getting too far?
Yeah. I mean...
She never has to worry about it with me.
He's so humble.
I'm so humble.
There are like 5 Bibles in there.
Which one do you want to throw at him?
No. You know I'm teasing.
We're joking. But like in all seriousness, community. Community is what the answer to that question, because there's no way, as with you as our friend, that we would ever be able to get away with being little turd whoppers.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. Same thing, like all of us, we each hold each other accountable. I mean, there was a season where I was like, "You making me mad."
And
so
family, family though, like. I could have gone on this tour and just been with the boys on their bus and been like, I'll see you guys
Good luck,
in
fam.
2.5 months. But like for me, I know that like my family is like, especially Alexa, like these guys are my rock. Like they really do keep me grounded. And you know, we have our own bus on tour. It was our choice. Like we have to pay for the bus to bring the whole family on tour. It is not cheap, but it's a price that is it's negligible compared to what could happen if not that I would do anything, but I'm saying like, look, the world is not built for us to like be perfect and like have no problems and no temptation, no nothing. Like you have to work at it.
If you but basically you would be, to the best way that I can describe it, you'd be like entering the lion's den alone.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the importance of community. Like community is with you. They help you put on your armor before you go out. They help be one of your shields while you go out. Like it literally reminds me of that time where like, who was it? Joshua is fighting the battle and Moses is up on the hill, on the rock, keeping his hands in the air. And every time, worshiping. And every time Moses put his hands down, Joshua would start to lose the battle. So Moses had to be up there, keeping his hands raised for that whole battle in order for Joshua to win that battle. And it just reminds me so much of like what we do on a daily basis. Like when we go out, we have friends like Andrew and like the Hashimotos and the Christies and the Frendels who are Moses, who are literally praying for us in their prayer closets, who are lifting us up, guiding us, sending us text messages of encouragement. And like that's where community is so, so important. And it's not easy to find. I mean, I really do feel like there were years of drought for us when it came to community. And it really took us a long time to kind of, and I think we're still like,
and it's quality, not quantity. Like, we had seasons where we had all these people in our lives, and I was like, damn, like I'm pouring into them, but no one's pouring back into me. I was like, so then you feel so dry and depleted. I mean, I'm sure Andrew knows about that.
Yeah, this man.
This guy.
No.
Yes, you do.
Listen,
this guy pours into so many people.
That we speak of Andrew in our book. You actually get to hear a lot of Andrew's story. And a lot. Who's calling you right now? Who's calling you right now?
Who is it?
No.
Is it Brian?
You guys get to see Andrew's story.
Madonna's calling you.
You get to see how he's impacted our lives, and not just our lives, but other people's lives, and how much he has really instilled giving in our hearts.
But it's about the book right now.
But that's in the book.
But dude, this is all part of the book.
So
this is our journey.
Here's the thing, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in it, but. Couple of things. One, the camera does add 30 pounds, so excuse me for a second.
You look great.
But the other thing is, in all sincerity, and I'm not kidding, I literally love this book. Like, if you guys ever want just an easy read, you want to really know about solid life growth and journeys and things like that, that'll help your personal journey, this is definitely a book you guys want to pick up. And I've already ordered, I think, I don't know how many. I don't know if I'll get them autographed, but I've ordered
Wait, you've ordered a bunch of
for
the
our
book?
Bible study.
Hey, guess what?
Andrew.
I'll sign it for you, bro.
Oh my gosh. Lord help me with these two.
Hold on. I got listen. Whitney B asks, Carlos, do you ever think about or have any regrets about that house that you guys bought that didn't work out?
That's in the book. The chapter's
That's
literally called
The
House from Hell is literally what it's called.
Wait.
And I don't use that word.
Yes.
I'm talking a literal hell.
Oh, not to mention, hold on guys, we did do an audio version of the book. So if you guys like audio versions better, that's going to come out. I think you can pre-order it.
I think it's at the
same time.
But at the same time. And there are little nuggets.
Yeah, we made it a little different than the book.
That will be slightly different than the book.
Gabby, to answer your question, do I regret it? No. Because so much changed for me from that house, from HE double hockey sticks.
I don't know. I look back and I'm like, those people who were in the wilderness for 40 years, do you regret? No, we learned so much in those 40 years. They didn't have to wander for 40 years. They could have made it to the promised land in 2 months. I think God turned it into a testimony.
Right, but Andrew sold us that house, so it's technically Andrew's fault.
It's all my fault. And the thing
did we pay you commission on that?
Yes. Well, you didn't. That seller did. On the sale, you didn't.
Great.
Okay, good. Thank you.
On the sale, you did. But that was not
Did I pay you commission on that?
But it wasn't my fault. I plead the fifth.
No, but look.
Listen.
No regrets. In the moment, it was terrible. But at the end of it, no regrets because we grew so much from it.
And the testimonies that came out of that house, I mean, that's how you knew God's hand was.
Okay, but here's the question.
Oh, Celeste says, I already read it in one day. It's so good.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Celeste.
Wait, but I have a question about the house thing again.
Oh, okay.
It seems that you trust that Lex has a great deal of discernment. We saw some of this with her thoughts on the home in West Hills. Do you find that you now trust her opinion on matters affecting your marriage, family, and work? Why or why not?
I'm sorry. I just realized that I could heart people's comments. Can you repeat the question? Do it for Instagram and TikTok and talk shop.
It seems that you trust that Lex has a great deal of discernment. We saw some of this with her thoughts on the home in West Hills.
Yes.
Do you find that you now trust her opinion on matters affecting your marriage, family, and work? Why or why not?
100%. 100%. She. I wouldn't say.
No, wait. How did this person know where you guys lived anyway? Oh, it's just they said the book. Okay, got it.
Because it's in the book.
Yeah.
Maybe we said too much.
I thought they said the street name. I'm like, I don't remember.
No, don't say that. But no, we I wouldn't say that Alexa has the end all be all say.
No.
I think like if
you're the man of the house.
Some of you guys might not agree with this, but how we think
we're Hispanic family.
I'm the man of the house, and at the end of the day, like she does trust me as the leader of this family. But I do like her discernment. I can't tell you how many times like we'll meet a couple and she'll be like, "Oh man, I'm not really digging the wife," and I'm like, "Oh, but I love the husband." And if you don't think the wife, and she's like, "Yeah, but something's off," and I'm like, and then like 2 months later, we find out something about the wife, and we're like, "Wow, you were really on it." So because of all these little things that happen, I do really lean into her for those kind of situations, and I like if I had to like say, yeah, she has way better discernment than me, and I really do give her credit. But at the end of the day, if I'm like, "No, we're gonna do this," she goes, "Okay, well,
I trust
this is how I feel." But I trust that you understand this better.
Sorry, for those that don't know, what's discernment?
Oh, yes, discernment. Can you give us like a spiritual definition of it?
Yeah, it's like a badge that you wear, right?
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
No, discernment, I would say it's just like Holy Spirit guiding you into a decision. And I think it's hard, like, for those of you who are not Christian, the word Holy Spirit just used to freak me out so much until I actually started diving into my faith. Did I understand, like, Holy Spirit is like your best friend. Just picture like having your best friend that could guide you into all like the right decision making or help you avoid dangers. That's what Holy Spirit is on your heart. So whenever you feel like a nudging or a pull or that gut feeling that you have, usually it's Holy Spirit nudging you and giving you discernment over a situation.
So I'm unapologetic when it comes to things of, the way that God has set the order up in the house and everything else. So Lois, as the head of your house, what do you do to make sure your family stays grounded in God? Do you prioritize prayer with your spouse and kids, reading the word or going to church? What does that look like for your family? And do you have a specific time set aside that you take to pray?
Oh man, a lot of questions, a lot of convictions.
Alex is next.
I do struggle with setting aside time every single day to pray and to read. That is just not something that is in me right now at the moment. But I will say, there's one word that I do pride myself on, and I think. What?
No, go ahead.
No, not bad
not
pride.
Not pride.
But,
no, I know what you mean.
But like it's something that like I focus on for me, for my family, and my kids is consistency. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, look, I may not be the guy waking up at 5 a.m, Andrew, and reading my Bible for 2 hours and praying for a million people. Yes, you're amazing, dude. I can't believe you do that. I wish I had it. But I will say I am consistent in my walk with God.
Yeah.
Like even for the small things, like you won't find me cussing up a storm. No way. I did in the past, but no way. But like I am consistent. So when my kids see me and they see our marriage and they see our family, they're seeing consistency every single day. And that's something that I didn't grow up with. I didn't grow up with consistency. One day, you know, my mom was like this or my dad was like this, my brother was like this. Like there was so much chaos that I really want that consistency with my kids. So that's what I strive for, to keep everybody grounded and.
So, but how do you keep that line of communication with God going in terms of like?
Oh, easy. I have Alexa. I'm just
outside of her. What do you do as the head of house to say, look, this is the most important thing?
You know, no, sure. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh gosh, I take an hour every day to pray. I don't. Like, I should.
No, that's honest though.
But I don't.
A lot of people don't.
I think for me is that
we're also in a season.
No. Not even that, because no excuses. I think I just have a constant conversation with God all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, it's less about sitting down and going, okay, this is my moment, time to pray. Versus every day, I'm like, oh, God, like, what are you trying to show me in this? Okay, cool. Or driving, and I'm like, you know what? I just really need your peace right now. Thank you. Okay, cool. Call. Like, it's a constant thing versus
it's almost like a marriage, in a way.
Yeah.
Like you literally, you just access him all the time. It's relational. It's not religious.
Yes.
Because we are the bride, not the groom.
Right.
Yes.
And he is the groom. Lex, so now for your turn, if there's ever a season of drought for your family, as most families experience, how do you help Los to get back to the thing that matters the most? That matters the most. That matters the most. How do you help your kids focus on God at such an early stage? Mm-hmm. And why does it matter to even talk about God with children at such a young age?
Everything goes back to prayer. Everything. So for us, when we're experiencing a season of drought or a season of division or a season of frustration, whatever season we're in, or even a season of abundance, I always go back to prayer. And the biggest thing that I've been doing specifically with the kids is praying out loud all the time. So I used to hide my prayer. I would get embarrassed by it. I would be like, oh, I don't want anybody to hear me pray. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. And like, but then I was just like, what am I embarrassed about? Like, I love talking to God. So I talk to God just like Carlos does throughout the day. Like, I'll be in the middle of cooking and I do pooping, you know. But like, I'm in the middle of talking to God, doing anything, talking to God, and now I do it out loud. So the kids are constantly hearing me, like God, I just really need your wisdom on like this situation, or like, God, please give me some extra patience right now, or grace, or whatever it is. So they constantly hear that. So Ocean, his first instinct now is like, when something is going wrong, he's like, Mommy, will you pray with me to like whether it's monsters, and the same thing with Kingston, or if they have a boo-boo, they're like, will you pray that it gets better? But it's really awesome when you start practicing that in your everyday life in front of your kids. They're actually seeing how you talk to God versus like, you know, just telling them to do it but them never witnessing it.
I love it. I love it. And I think it's so important, like, when you do so, because I see it in them. Like, I see like how they react and some of the things they say and the way they talk and stuff. They're not like, they're not, you know, they have their moments, but they're kids, and but you can tell like how they're grounded, and that's beautiful. That's why I want to say, like, how do you help him and how do you help the kids like get back to, okay, come on, now we're
prayer,
right?
Prayer, everything is prayer.
And I've heard you before be like, okay, we need to get our family back in order, like we need to get back to this, that, and the other. But on a fun note, so there's like a lot of people. You guys got married. You guys got married young, right? At least a lot of people say that you guys are young.
23.
Right? 23, 25, right?
I think we waited too long.
But to a lot of people, that's too young,
that.
Right? And nowadays, you have people that tell you you're too young to get married. Like if you have 19, 20-year-olds and stuff getting married, they're like, you're too young to get married. And then if people are waiting until the 30s or 40s or maybe 50s, it's too.
Why are you saying that?
You're a little too old to get
Andrew,
married.
look, we got a lot of people on all these platforms.
If there are any single women who love Jesus that are watching any of these platforms, please, Andrew Mortaza is single. He's ready to mingle. We will filter. We will filter the ladies, so please just message us.
So when do you think? So in that respect, when do you think couples should get married, or when? What is it that they should be looking for that tells them, okay, you're ready to commit your life to this person? Is it time? Is it money? Is it stability and financial? What is it?
I feel like everybody makes excuses as to why they wait to get married. I feel like everybody's like, I want to be a little bit more financially stable before I get married. But finances have not, like, who cares? I don't understand.
Had ups and downs based on the
We've had ups and downs, and finances don't change who we are as a couple. So for me, I mean, I do think there are some people who are just like very, very young, but at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is like, we are both working towards the same goal, and that's a kingdom mindset. And for me, a kingdom mindset means like we look at heaven as the ultimate goal. We look at like God being the end all be all. So for us, it doesn't matter which way our lives are moving. We can be all over the place. We're both fighting towards that same goal. We're in the same race, if that makes sense. So I think when you find somebody who aligns in your values or those specific values, you don't have to put all these like weird things like, oh, we have to be financially stable, or oh, we have to have a house first, or whatever. I'm just like, for us, we originally were gonna wait a year before we got married, because that's what you do. You wait a year before you get married. But a couple things popped up. One, Carlos is like, yo, I want to have sex. Like, I don't want to wait to have sex. And two, that was the big one. And two, it's like, wait, we're waiting for other people? Like, what the heck are we waiting for? Like, we just need to get married. Who cares? We know we're right for each other.
I feel like people have it all backwards, man. Like, back in the day, you met someone.
You courted them.
You courted them. You were like, this is beautiful. You know what? I want to spend the rest of my life with them. You like
there's a little bit more holiness to the relationship.
Yeah, now it's like, dude, like somebody said the other day, like, yo, I gotta try before I buy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck are we doing? Try before you buy? I'm like, is that what it's about?
Hold on, no.
I'll tell you this though.
And we talked about this in the book.
Yes,
I think we're almost up, by the way.
No, we got 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, great.
We did consummate the marriage before the marriage.
Yeah, so, okay.
But
hold on, I want to explain our story.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Real fast. We had sex before marriage.
We did the deed.
And we felt very, very convicted about it. Because at the time, we were really growing in our faith. We were going to Bible study together. We were going to church together. Yeah. We were like, yo, this is not okay.
Well, no, she did.
We do talk about this.
One day she was like, yo, I think we put a little time out on this. And I was like, listen, lady,
no.
What did I say exactly? I said, you can't give a kid a lollipop and then just take it away. Like, he's going to be like, what? That. I need to lick that lollipop.
I was there for that fight.
Oh my gosh. Please don't ever use that reference again. Lord help us.
No, I'm serious. And then we started.
With a lot of prayer.
I woke up one day and I was like, hey, I think you're right. She was like.
Actually, this is the one part of the book where I'm like, they missed a few details.
Oh, go ahead. Well, go ahead.
Do you guys now remember when you were in your dressing room?
If you're gonna bring you up, we've.
Yes,
oh my gosh!
Because
I
this is actually very true.
There was like a big fight.
Yes, there was a huge fight.
How did I miss this?
And Carlos asked me, and they were both sitting on the couch, and I was like standing up, and he was like, so Alexa wants to wait till we get married. And so what do you think? I was like, well, that's what how God would bless your marriage, blah, blah. And they're in the midst of buying the house in West Hills. So, literally no joke, like, it is what it is. Y'all. So then you guys were right in the middle of buying it, and he was like, and I was their realtor, right? So he's like, well, fine then. We're gonna move in the house, and we're gonna have to just cancel escrow, and then you won't get paid either, and blah blah blah. blah.
I did not.
Yes,
I did no such thing.
Yes, you did.
Who was that person?
And
then
I
turned. Who was that person?
And I turned. I said, wait, are you literally threatening me with losing out on selling a house? But yet I would have your souls in hell burning because
Wait.
I was like, that's what God wants you guys to do.
Oh my God.
You don't.
I'm dying. I'm cracking up right now.
If you wait,
I don't remember. It didn't happen.
True.
It didn't happen.
No, I did forget about that. Was a huge fight. I don't know how.
And I walked out of
you know what? We need to write like a secondary book to be like, hey, these are the things that we discovered afterwards.
I left there and you weren't talking to me.
Well, hey, for those of you just joining us, there are stories like that and many more in What If Love Is the Point, which if you're on Talk Shop Live, you guys should go on to Talk Shop Live and you should order the book and you can get an autographed copy, which would be really awesome.
Thank God you could back me up.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a lot of those stories in there.
There are a whole bunch of people asking questions on Talk Shop Live, so we should probably answer some of their questions.
Here we go.
Before we get booted off.
Here we go. How do you guys handle being persecuted for standing up for the truth?
Good question.
Do you want to answer that?
Okay.
I talk a lot.
I love hearing you talk.
I don't know. I just feel like when it's your truth, it's your truth. Like somebody can, like, I don't know. I have 3 kids, and somebody can be like, no, you don't. And I'm like, well, I do. So I don't know what else to tell you. To me, my faith is my truth. And
but let me ask you something with what you guys do and Hollywood being Hollywood and all that stuff. How do you balance that? Because a lot of you talk about cancel culture and all that stuff. How do you guys handle it?
Again,
you have to not care.
You have to not care, and it goes back to people pleasing too.
Yeah.
Like, we used to be hardcore people pleasers, and now I'm kind of just like, you know what? I know who I am. I believe what I believe. Like, think about.
But also, Jesus was persecuted.
But hold on. Think about all the people in the world who believe what they believe, and they'll shove it down your throat, and you're supposed to accept it.
Yeah.
So guess what? I believe what I believe, and that's it. And
like, you have to respect it.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
One another.
Yeah. Just respect it.
But
it's like,
there are a lot of people who don't, and for us, you either can harbor on it and allow those circumstances to just destroy your day and destroy your being, or you can go, doesn't matter, I'm going to keep moving forward because I'm in a race. And that's it.
God's the focus.
Okay.
So good. Let's
see. Hey, your Amazon order is going to arrive early, it just said.
Gosh.
Congratulations. We got Ocean and Scooter. I'm really excited.
We did.
Someone says, yes, write a second book. Thoughts on writing a children's book? Funny you say that.
We can't say much.
Let me think. Will you be signing the book from Talk Shop Live? Yes. If you buy it on Talk Shop Live, we will be signing all those.
Sign books.
And then, like I said, if you do show up to the meet and greets this summer and you do have the book, even though we're not supposed to be signing things during the meet and greets, I will sign it for you. Yes. And you know, maybe Alexa will do a little signature.
I might be babysitting, but
we'll just figure it out. Here we go.
I saw somebody saying, are your kids homeschooled? Yes, we do an awesome curriculum called Sunlight, S-O-N, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Kimmy says, I really related to the parts of the book that talk about loneliness. Any advice for finding Christian friends? Andrew.
What? So any advice? No, like attracts like.
Yeah.
Light.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that. Thanks for ruining it for me, but I like to say light attracts light.
Oh, okay.
So, in reality, like, because everybody said when I first got to California, like, oh, everybody sucks. You'll never find friends. It's not true. All you have to do is just, again, pray and use discernment when dealing with people and being around them. And as long as you have like-minded friends who can be around you, obviously you always want to reach out to people who are different than you, of course, but the people that are closest to you and the people that are around you the most are going to be those that are like-minded, because you're going to want to battle that same battle together, because it's a hard life.
Yeah. But so to find friends, I would say, like, find awesome community groups. See if your church has a Bible study or different home groups. I would even, like, nowadays, don't they have so many different, like, community groups on Facebook, and you can even be a part of that and see if there's anybody local.
Just be careful on those, because some of those are really, really bad.
As I'm like really suggesting it.
No. Some of them are. Like, okay. Anyway.
Someone says
7 minutes, so.
Well, let's see what happens. If we go over, does it just stop?
I think so.
I'm having so much fun.
I was told it stops at the hour.
No, we're having so. You know what?
It doesn't feel like
we'll just pretend that it stops, and then we'll just sit here and see if it stops. Alexa. No, already answered that one. Here we go. I love this. What I love about both of you is that you are who you are, and the world isn't going to change you. Amen. Same for you too. Everything. Let me go.
Why, hopefully.
No, for that person.
Let me see. Someone says, having a come to Jesus meeting. I love it. Let's see another one. Okay, here we go. Alexa, you have an amazing POV on finding quiet moments with God throughout chaotic days. Do you have any verses that coach you through these moments?
Oh my gosh.
1 Corinthians.
Are you talking about my Run the Race?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the first verse that I ever memorized. And the verse is, in a race, or do you not know that in a race all runners run, but only one gets a prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. And for me, that is just like a total symbol of what I want my life to look like. Like, I want my life to emulate what it looks like as far as like a runner trying to reach for the prize. And that is my life with my faith.
Yeah. You know, someone always asked me, like, they were like, would you rather be in, not someone always asked me, someone once asked me, would you rather be in first or second place? And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather be in second place, because then I'm always like reaching towards something. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be in first place for you.
No. I'm saying like no. Sorry. Well, no, because
I
you
know
said the
what you're
race,
saying. I know
and
what
it's
you're
like
saying.
I like being in second because I always have something
like
I'm
fighting for something.
Yeah.
You're Carlos is such a goal-oriented person, which I absolutely love. He just loves, like, if there's something that he wants to attain, he stops at nothing to attain
it's
it,
like,
and that's
it's like, how do you do it? Versus, like, my old mentality back when I was a kid was, oh, man, that'll never happen. Now I'm like, how can I make that happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a total,
I gotta sell all my
instead of
clothes,
that'll never
I will do
happen.
it.
I love that, but that's so important. How will that ever happen? No.
Yeah.
How do I make it happen?
Yeah, just change the perspective.
Or that will never happen. I miss
Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, so you guys could actually end on this, which is, what was the purpose of you guys writing this book? Like, what did you want to accomplish through it?
I think it started off as one thing and it became another. I think we knew we always wanted to share testimonies.
And really quick, before I even say that, and the reason why I'm asking is because when I read this book, unlike most books, it's not like a egotistical, centered around themselves, self-centered kind of book where it's all about them. It's actually, you're learning a lot through listening. You're learning. Oh my God. It's something that you're learning through their journey that they're actually telling you in regards to how God helped them through. So it's really, really powerful. So I want to know, what was the purpose of writing this book?
So originally it started out where, like, we knew we wanted to share testimonies that had happened in our lives. But more than anything, we wanted to shine a light on marriage because we felt like marriage was something that is kind of dying.
Yeah.
When you look at TV shows, when you look at movies, they don't really shine a light on marriage. Everything is like, they're married, kids, there's not a lot of joy around marriage in media. So it definitely started off as that, but what it became was kind of like a full life testimony of not just how God worked in our relationship, but worked in our family relationships and, like, coming from kind of broken homes. I don't want to say like broken homes, but there's a lot of stuff that we really are still, like, working through, and a lot of stuff that we had to heal from with our families. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at Rio being so cute over here. Oh my gosh, what a little chunky monkey. Sorry, distracted by a cute baby. So yeah, I really do feel like it started off as one thing and became another, and what it became was, like, God really did a number on us throughout those 6 years and gave us more testimonies to share with people.
And I think what a lot of people do when they tell their testimony or a story, or they're trying to help somebody out, they're not as transparent as they should be, and they're kind of hiding. Like, they kind of, like a lot of people that I've dealt with, they hide all the bad stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but I want to hear the bad stuff. Like,
because it's embarrassing. Like, I remember I used to have a really bad eating disorder, which we talk about in the book. And my biggest fear was somebody finding out, because I didn't want them to see me as something different. Like, I was still me. I still had the same personality, the same likes. Like, I still was joyful. But I had this deep, dark secret that I didn't want anybody to find out, because I knew they were going to look at me as, like, broken. And I was going to be ashamed of that. So I understand why people leave out some of the dirty stuff, but that's the stuff.
But I'll say, like,
that, like,
I feel like
you should share.
Besides the one argument that I didn't remember, we really let it all out
Yes.
and talk about it in the book. So
Since it's your last few minutes, why should people buy it?
Oh yeah, I don't know. We want to ask you, Andrew.
Well, I've already said, like, several times, like, I've already bought a bunch of copies. It's not because I'm in it. I buy these kind of books because I think, like, number one, we should always support Christian authors, Christian writers, and those especially who are authentic in what they're sharing. I think this book definitely does that. Plus, it challenges people. I mean, challenged me, and I know them. But there was a lot I didn't know that's in there. It really breaks down them beyond the facade that you guys see, like, on Instagram or in all these places or on their shows or what have you. It actually, you see a much deeper level, but you really see that faith in God.
Awesome.
And I think, if anything, it should help you guys grow in that level. So
okay, well, we got
Thank you.
like 50 seconds. Shut off. But if you guys want to get a signed copy right now on Talk Shop Live, you can buy it. If you don't want to, it's totally cool. We had so much fun talking to you guys, and if you think that you know someone who could really benefit from this book, you should definitely get it for them. And we may be doing some giveaways too, because we just really want to share this with the world, and I don't know, hopefully change some lives.
We'll definitely be doing some giveaways.
So we love you guys. 20 seconds left. We're going to let the time run, and we're just going to talk.
We're going to let it go. But we're still here. So
but you're on Instagram.
Fine. Are there other questions that you had that we didn't get to?
Yeah.
Maybe we answer a couple more.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Right.
5,
Bye, Talk Shop
4,
Live. Thank you
3,
for a very good
2,
hour.
1.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it did just go right off.
Okay, so for you guys,
What's
stay a little
up,
longer,
guys?
But I'm actually going to try to turn it so you can finally see Andrew. Let's see. I'm going to back you up. Why? I want you on here.
We'll give you some dedicated...
How long have we been
What
live
if you
over
just
here?
you guys can't do it like this?
Sideways? No.
No, don't do that.
We'll see. We'll see if we can see you.
It doesn't really matter. Because this is really like...
Did you just move away? Did you just move further away? I'm scooting your chair back in.
I told you the camera.
Boom! Shakalaka.
Let's
Okay,
see.
guys. So...
It thinks we're driving.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Anyways.
Thinks you are?
I don't know.
Oh!
It thinks we're driving.
Brianna, you pre-ordered the book. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brianna.
Let's see.
Brianna Evigan?
No.
Brianna again.
Let me see. Somebody said, what do you love most about your Dominican culture? The food. Oh!
Oh! Wow, babe.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you
Okay.
go, babe.
We'll just do a few more questions on here, guys. But we've been talking about our book that is coming out in 20 days?
On the 28th. So what is today?
No. It's the 10th. So 18
Coming
days.
out in 18 days?
18 days.
Holy
What if love is the
moly.
point? I wish I had a physical copy. They should
I'm
be coming
so
in
sad.
so
Actually, I'm
soon.
getting mine on in 15 days.
What?
You get it early?
On the 28th.
That's in 18 days. It's the 10th.
Oh, today's the 10th. I thought today's the 13th. Okay. Never mind.
Anyways, guys, spread the word. Alexa and I wrote a book. We're so excited. Are we authors now? Hey.
Sure,
I mean, I don't really
I'll give
consider
us
that,
that.
but whatever.
I'll give us
So cool. And if you guys want a signed copy, go on to Talk Shop Live. The link is in our bio. And you can get you can order a signed copy and we'll sign them.
Yeah.
Send it over. Limited number though. So anyway, Andrew, want to ask?
Hey, you know what? This is funny. It's kind of like your Wednesday night quick Q&As that you guys haven't been doing in a while.
Oh, we haven't done
Oh,
a Wednesday night Q&A.
This is kind of it.
We'll do them every night.
Technically,
Us three.
Okay.
We'll just talk about the book and Jesus and life and love.
Oh,
So-
you know what? Yeah, we're here until X date, so let's just do them every night until we leave.
Done. Welcome, dude.
I'm so happy. So I can't write this many questions for every.
No.
Okay, we'll
this is
ask
good.
you a question.
So one of the things, like I knew in the beginning, like one of the biggest issues with you guys, and it's in the book too, is the appeasement factor and how you would silence your voice. So it reminded me of Runaway Bride.
Okay.
You know, Julia
Yeah.
Roberts kept
Never
changing.
seen it.
She would always change how she would eat eggs based on who she was
Dating.
to appease them and to kind of feel like they mesh, even though they didn't. Now, do you feel you have accomplished getting over that, and have you found your voice, or are you still kind of walking on eggshells on certain topics? If so, what can you do to overcome that, and how are those morning prayers going?
So, for me, I really do struggle with people pleasing, and you would think that it would just be with other people, but actually the biggest people pleaser I am, like the biggest person I try to please is Carlos, and that's actually really something that I'm trying to work on because I want to please him, but I
don't want that. Though. Just to
But-
clarify, I'm like, baby, what do you want? Stop
But,
doing it.
I
What do you
also
want?
need to learn how to vocalize my needs. And I think that's something that a lot of moms fall into because once you start having kids, you really prioritize like all the kids' wants and needs. And then before you know it, like you're also doing that completely with your spouse to where you start to lose yourself. And I was actually having this conversation with Sophia earlier, was that it goes back to like what the word says. Without vision, people perish. And I think a lot of times as moms and wives, we become so busy being focused on our families that we lose the vision, not necessarily of God, but like of maybe what God has in store for us. And we just kind of, that's why you see a lot of resentment in relationships or in marriage, is because these wives or husbands who have kind of put themselves on the back burner, they just kind of wither away. Yeah. And that's why you have to have vision for yourself. You cannot be afraid to voice your needs. So it's something that I still work on daily, just because I'm a little bit more quiet in the relationship. Carlos is a little bit more of the outspoken one. But I feel like I've come a very long way from where I used to be.
But I've heard like Carlos say like, come on, speak up. Like,
what do you want?
So now, Lo, so to you, like at that time when she was like was it
More
frustrating?
timid.
Was it annoying? What was it about the fact that she wouldn't vocalize what she really wanted? Instead, she would just kind of go with the flow with whatever.
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah.
I told her this today. I said, you're literally saying something. But me as your husband, I know that's not what you want.
Yep.
So you're saying something. You're saying no, but I know it's really yes. So how am I supposed to handle this when I know that you really mean yes, but you're saying no?
And that's why communication...
Stop it! Stop it!
Communication is so important in
And so what did you say to that? So when he's like, I know you mean yes, but you're saying no. And
marriage counseling, apparently.
Oh, yeah, this is good marriage counseling. No, I think a lot of times, for me specifically, not this particular situation, but like for me, I really do feel like a lot of times that people pleasing of like, you don't want to rock the boat, maybe that there are some things that like will cause tension in a relationship, but sometimes that tension is exactly what is needed. Like when you work out, going to the gym, like it's hard going to the gym. You're sore the next day. You're creating tension on those muscles, but what you get out of it is muscle. You get stronger, you get better. And that's the same thing in marriage. Sometimes there will be that tension, and it's necessary tension, but it only is to create something stronger and better in the long run.
So sometimes, like, also when people tend to hold back, it's also because you're afraid to give your opinion because of what it might evoke,
right? It's that tension. You don't want to rock the boat.
He's a very passionate Latin guy, so it can evoke some things. And
Andrea, how come?
Without making it about me.
How come it's so hot in your house?
How do you, I know.
Really
I'm going to turn up.
You can open the door.
What? Wait. Let me just ask this. You guys answer it while I go turn this thing on. What do you guys do to make sure to help each other, like to know that your voice is valued, or that to definitely voice it, even if there's going to be
tension.
Well,
what I try to do is I try to constantly. Oh, he's gone. I'll tell you guys. What I try to do is, for me, my love language, and it's really important in any relationship to figure out what your love language is, but also what your spouse love language is, because his love language is different than mine. Like, mine is words of affirmation, and I can write him cards all day long, but they don't mean much to him, whereas if he wrote a card to me, it means the world. His love language is acts of kindness. So if I do things...
Yeah, if she's like, hey, I'll put the kids to sleep while you watch a movie, I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
but then if she's like...
hold
on. But then if she's like, I'm so tired, I'm like, hey, I'll put the kids to sleep and clean the house. She's like, okay. And I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
But
what do you mean?
Because our love languages are so different.
Yeah.
So it's really important to remember, like, how we want to receive love isn't necessarily how somebody else wants to receive love. So what I try to do in that situation is, like, I just try to encourage him, but also love him the way that he wants to be loved and feel loved. And usually that brings out the best in him and gives him, I think when I do that, he actually feels freer to communicate. When you feel that love, you feel peace and comfort and safety to communicate whatever you want.
Okay, but do you sometimes think you do it to a point where it's not necessarily, it's more so overly doing it? And you know what I mean? Like, where it's like,
oh yeah, I mean, there's so many people-pleasing qualities that I think we've learned over the years, and thank God we've learned them, because they're so bad. Are we getting all the angles? This is great, babe. They're so bad for your relationship, because in the end, it creates resentment when you like live in a world of people-pleasing, because ultimately you can't do that forever. You will burn out.
Amen. And then while Carlos is doing that...
I've really learned a lot, guys.
Stop. Don't do that. Do not do that.
You guys,
get that off
he's
me.
playing with some filter online, and it is fantastic. Guys.
Okay, next question.
Okay, so the next question is for both of you. Okay. I work with and am around several celebrities who have multiple children, right?
Yes.
But they tend to have full-time nannies, housekeepers, and assistants. Based on what I've seen, you only have a nanny from time to time. How important is it to have help, family or hired, to balance your life? And how do you get everything done without help and maintaining your stress levels?
I have a lot of mixed feelings on this, because I know we're in a season where... Stop. Oh my God.
Oh my
Guys,
gosh.
you can see this filter. It's that sad face filter.
She almost looks like Hillary Duff a little bit.
Go ahead.
What? No,
Go
Hillary
ahead.
is the most beautiful person on the planet.
No, that doesn't mean you look bad.
In this filter?
Yeah, from the side. Like have you ever seen Hillary
If
laugh?
I could look like Hillary, I will praise the Lord. Oh my gosh. Okay, what was the question? I forgot.
Like, how do you handle everything without any help?
Oh, okay. So this is what. And do you want to answer this or you want me to?
No, you.
Okay, I have a lot of mixed feelings on this because I so wish that I could do everything on my own. And it's not a control thing, but I want to be the one to raise my kids. Like, but I also want to have like a career, and I want to have a fantastic marriage, and I there are a lot of things that I would like. I want a great relationship with God. So what I'm in a season of is learning how to balance all of that and go, okay, I'm allowed to have help in a couple places where maybe we didn't have help before. We've never had an assistant before, and we're about to hire an assistant because there are plenty of things that we're like, you know what? We would be better off spending that extra time with our kids than focused on trying to get this like one thing done with work that somebody else can do, and they can do it better than we can, probably because they will have more focused time on it. And then also like having times where it's like, okay, as much as I want to be with my kids 24/7, we're so blessed that we get to spend more time with our kids than most people do because they are homeschooled, they travel everywhere with us, we get a lot of great experiences together. It's okay if we have somebody come help us with our kids from time to time so we can put our focus in other things. And I think that's taken a lot of time from my heart to learn, just because I want to be able to do it all, but it is physically impossible. And I've learned the hard way that it will drain you, and it is exhausting. And yeah.
And Liz, for you, like so you say you want to be, like you learned to be a better dad with Kingston and Rio.
Yep.
Because of the ways you kind of handle some of the stuff with Ocean, right?
Yep.
But what is your relationship with each kid like now? And how can you help other dads who have multiple kids balance his time and emotions with each kid so the kids know that they are valued?
Good question.
Gosh, that's a really good. Drew.
I was just falling asleep.
I worked all day, man. My brain. 26 songs. Oh my gosh.
Just say when and we'll cancel, but I really want to hear the answer to this one.
Do you want me to ask the question again?
Yeah, in my
English.
language. In English.
You acknowledge that you learned how to be a better dad with Kingston and Rio
Yes.
because of the ways you handle things with Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship like with each kid now, and how can you help other dads with multiple kids balance his time and emotions with each kid so that the kids know they are valued?
So my relationship with all three kids is awesome now. With Ocean, I wasn't really invested from the beginning, like 100%. After he was born, I was kind of taken for...
You were in shock.
I was in shock. I was like, what did we just do to ourselves? Like, your freedom is gone. I didn't really appreciate what having a child really was until he was about 1 year old. There was a lot going on in my life. Like, BTR was coming to its end. I wasn't booking any work. Like, I was just like
and we talk about all of this in the book.
It's all in the book. But I was an emotional wreck. But when he turned 1, I really got connected with him. So I think after seeing that, I saw what
the baby.
Let's say
essentially.
let's say child A is baby in the belly, child B is baby born, and child C is the 1 year old. I saw what A, B, and C now fully was, and I went, man, I really missed out on A and B. Now I'm here for C, but I really want to invest in A and B. So when she got pregnant with Kingston, I was really there from A to B to C, which really helped my connection like hardcore. And then with Rio, I was even more invested from the A to the B to the C. And now that Ocean's a little older and now we're at like a D,
He's like communicating.
Yeah, it's communicating, and I mean, we're close. I definitely say that you're closer with Ocean, but I have such a great relationship with Kingston and Rio because of spending that time. So I think any recommendation would be every moment goes by so quick,
Very important.
and as a father, it's really hard because you are the leader of the household. You are taking so much on your shoulders because you want to make sure that your family's good and solid and taken care of.
It's okay also to say it's scary and that you don't know and it doesn't feel like maybe natural right away.
Right. That 100%. But you need to be open with those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't open with those feelings until a year in, and then I was like, hey, can I be honest about something? I didn't really feel this until now. And she was like, wait, what? So I'd say time goes by real quick. Spend as much time with your family and your kids as you can, especially when they're younger, because you're going to miss out on some prime bonding moments that will shape their future for years to come.
Good answer, babe.
And that kind of lands into the next part, which is like, if you guys are about this village, we talked about, right? Like your community or your village, I call it all the time. How do you guys, and what do you use? Like, what's your test for who you allow into that community and how close they get to you? And
I don't have a test other than like discernment, or just lifestyle, and I don't know. I've never really had like I'm gonna test to see if you're good for our community. I've just always seen like if we've meshed and if God continues to align our lives. Like, sometimes it's hard because in the business that we're in, we travel a whole lot. It's hard to nurture those friendships and relationships. But something I actually learned from Carlos is he's
learned something from me?
I learned so many things from you. He's really good at checking in and really being there for people. He's constantly texting his guy friends like, hey, I want to see how your day's going. I'm thinking of you, man. Like, just pouring his heart out to
No, I'm saying I always pour out to you. Hey, Drew, how you doing? I'm fine.
Andrew's the worst
wait a
texter.
minute.
You are the worst texter in the
about
world.
me right now.
But she was saying how good I am at reaching out to all my guy friends.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, I reach out to you all the time. And I'm just taking this moment right now to call you
But
out.
you know what? That also comes sometimes from that hurt place of like, since I don't understand what it's like to be
a father.
Wow.
In a relationship with a
I
woman.
have my moments.
I got you.
So anyway, yes, I hope that answered the
We'll talk about
question.
that later.
We'll see. Is this the last question you said?
I have one more question.
Okay, last question.
Bro, we've been on
Kinda
for
like-
almost 2 hours.
And this is kind of fun. In your book, you talk about keeping your marriage fresh by being playful, but we're currently looking in society at a divorce rate of almost 45%, right? It's all over the place.
45%?
45%. How do you guys, number one, feel about divorce, whether in society or just in general within your marriage? Have you guys had that conversation? Not about getting divorced, but about what, if that even exists in your marriage. And what do you think couples who are struggling in their marriage right now can do to focus on staying together versus walking away? And what do you think is the biggest contributor to stress in marriage?
Well, if she cheated on me...
No, what's the biggest stress in marriage?
Oh my
Your
gosh.
loss.
I think finances are always the biggest stress on marriage, which is, I would say, even in our marriage, finances, anytime like there was like a big argument or whatever, it had a lot to do with finances, which is so silly. Like, and we talk about this in the book. Like, I'm not a money person at all. I've always known like God has me covered, and if I'm in line with Him and I'm where we're supposed to be, I don't care about money. Like, I know I'm covered.
And I'm the guy who's like, okay, I need to have the next 2 years planned out to make sure that we can do this, because...
Which I think there's a fine balance. Like, you need to have the wisdom when it comes to finances and whatnot, but also the faith to know, like, that you will be provided for if, for whatever...
We're both
it's like
growing each other in those areas.
100%.
I think, can I say something to this
No,
point?
Andrew, you asked us to...
I'm off screen, but you guys can hear me. In all sincerity, I'm being dead serious. I don't think there was ever two better people put together in regards to balancing each other on finances than you two.
Yes.
Because you are incredibly generous and do extra than more than what you should be doing. You're incredibly good with being a wise steward of what you have. No.
No. Wise steward.
You're not stingy at all.
Yeah.
You're
Stingy's the wrong word.
good.
I'm just cheap.
Listen,
I'll give.
Yes, you're cheap on some things, but not
like
everything.
this shirt is my brother's shirt from like 9 years ago. Yeah, I don't buy clothes.
I'm like, can we please have somebody help us clean the
Can
house?
we please have some food?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this was the last argument, and it was about groceries and how expensive groceries are now. And I'm like, but babe, we're doing fine. And he's just like, it's just so much more expensive than it used to be. So what's going on?
No, it's like, why are you buying all this stuff? And she's like, because we don't have any food in the house and have to feed 3 children and you.
But
they're over exaggerating.
But yes, we're
and he can only have a certain.
I will always feed my children. You know what?
Always.
No more for you.
I haven't had any of it anyway.
Abdullah, no more.
Abdullah.
But hold on, no. What was the question? It was a really good question.
The question is like, what?
And this is what we'll end it on.
Yeah. What do you think about? First of all, have you guys had the conversation about divorce? And what do you think couples who are struggling in their marriage can do to focus on staying together versus walking away?
Okay, well, we have had the conversation of divorce, and it's not an option for us unless she cheats on me.
Oh my god.
But even then, I don't know. I'm so convicted in our marriage. Like I'm so set in it that I have to really go and pray to God and be like, okay, I know she done messed up, but
wow,
that's
babe.
never gonna happen. Why are we even talking about
He's
this?
giving
saying.
a bad hypothetical. But look, this is what I will say. I've been divorced before. I was married before Carlos.
What?
I was married before Carlos.
Are you kidding me?
Listen to me. I was married once before. But if I learned anything, it was that our hearts were not just like not aligned with each other, but we didn't have the same end goal. And for us, our faith is everything, and that has us fighting towards the same thing all the time. And I've said this earlier, regardless of what chaos is going on in our lives, regardless of what division might be happening in our marriage, because we're both fighting for the same thing and have our eye on the same thing, when you work together to get closer to God, it's like a triangle. You can't help but get closer to each other. So as you're fighting to have that great relationship with God, your relationship is just getting stronger, regardless of what outside circumstances try to come in and destroy it. Just think of that triangle and God being at the top. But so coming from somebody who was divorced, I would say we were really missing that in our marriage, and we were just not aligned on so many things. We weren't fighting toward that end goal. With us, truly, I'm such a different person than I was years ago. So are you. Like, I would say we look back at those people and we're like, who are they?
I had more hair.
Oh my gosh, you did have a little.
I had a little more hair.
Just a little more hair.
From a guy's perspective, what would you say?
About what?
About divorce and how people can work on staying together versus just walking away and giving up.
I mean, again...
have you guys ever had fights like that? Where you were like, I just want to leave her?
No.
I think, hold on,
No.
I think we had one period, and we talked about this in the book. There was one period in our relationship where it was
we
so
weren't even
hard.
dating, though.
What?
We were barely dating.
No, there was one period
in
in our
Vancouver?
marriage where if we were not married, we would have broken up.
Yes.
Like, if we were not married, we would have been like, yo, this relationship is a dud. Like, we would have left.
Look,
But
marriage...
because we were married, we fought through it, and we came out so much
marriage
stronger.
is work. So don't let anybody fool you or say that. Marriage is work. But
it's good work. It's not like...
I know, but let me finish what I'm going to say.
Okay.
But it's so worth it. Like, to me, I really believe that is why we are here. We are here on this planet to get married. I'm going to find you that girl, Andrew. And then procreate. Have babies.
Have beautiful babies.
And these two have got to have more babies.
No. But I'm saying, or else,
the cutest babies
or
in the
else,
world.
or else, what is there? And look, I get it.
That's true.
There are people out there who are single. It's fine.
We're gonna find you a lady.
There are people out there.
Life.
Hold on. There are people out there who can't have babies. Like I get it. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying, in my eyes, for my life, I believe that we did what God wanted us to do, and we are doing what God wanted us to do, and I believe that
we're gonna create a soccer team.
No.
Just in our family.
But I believe that this marriage is worth fighting for because that is what God wants. Like, why would I get into a relationship that is not worth fighting for? That's just
good.
No, but it's like it's just a waste of my time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, why am I going to get into a friendship that is not worth fighting? Like, what a waste of time.
That goes like relationships across the
Yeah.
board.
Like, I had to start seating people out because I was like, we're not doing anything for each other. I'm sorry, weeding people out. I'm like, we're not doing each other. But anyways, so yes. So to me, when I met Alexa, I was like, this is it. Like I knew because it felt right, but I also was willing to work at it. Even though she didn't want anything to do with me for months, I was willing to be persistent and look at my bounty.
It's a good bounty.
Wow.
For my persistence.
Wow.
Anyway, this has been a long time. This is a long time talking. Guys, if you want to check out our book, it would mean a lot to us. There's a link in our bio that you can go to Talk Shop Live and get a signed copy, or go to Barnes & Noble, Amazon, whatever you want. Pre-order the book. It's coming out June June 28th, and we are so excited.
What is it called?
It's called What If... Oh, thanks, teacher. It is called What If Love Is the Point. Our debut as writers. I don't know what that was. But we would really appreciate if you guys picked up a copy. Much love. God bless. And as always, chop liver. Andrew, thank you so much for being the person.
Thank you, Andrew. So lovely meeting you. Did you just say chop kebabs?
Oh my gosh.
You guys have liver and kebabs.
I've actually never had to end one of these before. Is
Oh,
it
it's-
under the more?
Right here. Boom.
Oh no. Bye guys.